So this is Rise of the Republic, one of the DLC expansions for Rome Total War. I'm playing as the Romans. In this gaming session, I'm wrapping up a war against the Samnite tribes, and I think at this at this point I don't declare war on the Samnites just yet. I'm still wrapping up from I think a separate war with one of the other tribes in Italy, and I'm just consolidating my forces and getting them prepared. I have to deal with constant uprisings and rebellions from the citizens of Rome. Um, so that's something I have to constantly deal with. I have a high tax rate, and um, every time I finish a battle, I always enslave the captives. So that always adds to the unrest in the various provinces. Right here, this is where I initiate the battles with the Samnites, and right away I capture two cities. I guess they weren't really expecting me to go to war with them, but this war against the Samnites actually gets pretty difficult later. Because even though I'm dealing with the war, I'm also still dealing with the constant rebellions in my existing provinces, and I don't have an unlimited number of armies that I can um, garrison my cities with. At some point, I start using the navies to sort of garrison my towns because at this point I could only have a maximum of four armies. So I use I think I use the two fleets. I could have a maximum of three fleets, but I only use two because I don't want to spend that much money on um, what are essentially kind of useless at this point. Then I capture this city, and I think it's not too far after this where I capture Casinum that I move on to Capua. This is one of those uprisings that I'm dealing with. One of the neighbors trespasses in my territory to go and fight them. This is where I capture Capua. I think I'm about to capture Capua right now. One of the things I found is that uh, the um, the tabernas or the travelers' lodges they help with public order and they add food, so that was one thing that really helped. I think there's a number of different factors that are causing a lot of rebellions and uprisings in my towns. One of them is that I have a lot of mining and coining. So this is the first capture of Capua. I captured it there. I try to set non-aggression pacts with the surrounding factions. I think at some point they take it back. They capture Capua right back. Like after I move this extra army, I think they send in a really big army right after. Just positioning everything. I want to take the other two cities that are here are capital cities that have the city walls. See, this is where they send in the big army, and I think I actually fight this one. Um, I had a little bit of trouble figuring out how to set up the deployables there, the barriers and the fireballs and the spike pits. Took me a while to figure out. I found they're kind of useless, the deployables. And so they send in like a small initial army, but they have a lot of reinforcements. So I set my guys up on the hill and they do the fighting and all that. And my skirmishers moving all around and fleeing and stuff. I ultimately lose this battle because the odds are against me on this one, but my general is the only cavalry unit that I have, and this isn't a battle that I can withdraw from if I think that I'm losing. So like this is a stand and fight kind of situation. So I have my general go around killing as many skirmishers and archers and slingers as he can. But like at this point, the only goal I have is to kill as many of the Samnites as possible because if they capture, they're obviously going to capture this town. But if enough of their army is depleted or destroyed, uh, then they won't be able to move in too far to capture the other ones. So I have to build a bunch of other armies to take back the town, and that's where I'm doing that here. I think it goes back and forth. It goes back and forth with Capua, where I capture it, they capture it, I capture it, they capture it, and it goes back and forth for a while. Because as soon as they leave it sort of undefended, but as soon as, yeah, see, here you go, they send in two bigger armies to recapture Capua, and it annihilates my army. And so what's going to happen next is they're going to leave it undefended. I'm going to capture it, and then they're going to send in like three armies to take it back. Okay, so I fight this battle, the Battle of Capua, and I set up the deployables, the barricades, the fireballs. These fireballs are actually kind of useless. They explode, but they don't do much. And then I have the spike pits. They walked right through my spike pits, and you can see they all exploded. But they have two big armies, one coming in from one side and another army coming from the other side. And the other army sort of you know comes in from the backside, and so I get smashed there. And I have my skirmishers on the other side taking care of the other army. And they managed to do that, but then I get defeated here anyway. I noticed that the Samnites had this little island right here. It's next to the Corsica and Sardinia. Well, not next to there, but it's sort of on that way. But I send a fleet in to go capture that town. They never come around to recapturing it. They send a large fleet to sort of hover around the area, but they never send it in to take the town. Like there it is. There's their I think that's their navy. They spend a lot of time putting down rebellions. They captured Casinum at some point. They recaptured those two, and then to, I think we're coming at the point where um, my war with the Samnites almost ends. But I'm trying to put together enough armies to um, to recapture Capua because that once I recapture Capua, that's where I'm gonna stop it. Like that's where I'm going to try to declare peace. So I'm assembling the two armies near Capua and the backup. It looks like they have two big armies there too. So going around trying to get some non-aggression pacts in, and I'm just done fighting for the time being. I just want to wrap up the Battle of Capua, and I could see that another faction is capturing one of their larger capital cities, Neapolis. And so I take that opportunity to go in and capture one of their extra towns. But I think this is it. So I declared peace with the Samnites after capturing two of their towns, in addition to retaking Capua. Do I take that one? Oh, captured one of them, I guess. But after taking Capua and I have that extra town, like that was it. Declared peace, and that's it for the Samnite War.